as Tara. When you do Tara practice, you're still visualizing Tara, and it's not wrong to visualize, specific deities for specific practices. And that, let's just say that Shakyamuni Buddha was the object that you're using for your calm abiding meditation, then it's completely appropriate to have more than one, that you're visualizing Tara when you're doing Tara practice, and you're visualizing Shakyamuni Buddha when you're doing single pointed. So I don't know, does that answer the question, Tom?
Yeah, I feel much less guilty.
I mean,
so,
yeah.
I guess some of my Irish upbringing is coming into this at that point. Right? Donna would understand.
I would.
Yeah, and that helps, because I really had thought that maybe in doing my Tara practice, I should be using the same object. And it's nice to know that what I'm doing seems to be right within your experience. That was helpful.
Yeah, I mean, if someone else has another idea, please let me know, because I'm not basing that. I'm basing that on an inference, right? Because, like, for example, when we do the Medicine Buddha stanza and recitations on Sunday morning, Geshe is always describing visualizing Medicine Buddha. And clearly, when we're doing Medicine Buddha practice, the way Lama Zopa Rinpoche has taught it, we're visualizing all of the Medicine Buddhas. And that doesn't have anything to do with what your object of meditation will be if you're also working on calm abiding. So, Lamala, yeah.
My sense is that, well, for me, in my practice, what I try to do is, no matter what practice I'm doing, Tara, Medicine Buddha, Guru Yoga, whatever, you're seeing the deity as your root guru in the aspect of that deity. So it's really the same object mentally. It's just that he or she has a different aspect.
That's really an excellent point, Lama.
My sense, that's all.
That makes sense to me. But I have to tell you that I'm not nearly far enough along on the path that doesn't make it seem more complicated for me personally. Because the idea of different aspects of the same thing, I'm not quite, that would be another intellectual kind of leap for me at this point, Lamala. And I think you're right. I mean, I understand we're talking about the one thing, but I don't know, I'm feeling somewhat refreshed that I've been spending a lot of time visualizing my green Tara in my mind, and that's working relatively well. And my concern was that you've clarified that, in fact, the practice, you can talk about that deity. And I know intellectually you're exactly right, Lama, that I'm thinking about an aspect of a deity. To me, right where I am at this point, that would make it more complicated for my mind. I'd have to figure that out. That doesn't come naturally to me yet, if you understand what I mean.
Right. But when
that's my limitation. Yeah.
When you have, the Dharmakaya, the truth body, all the, just like when all the drops of a river flows into the ocean, they all become of one taste. It's that sense. To me, that's the way I would.
That's helpful. I mean, I can visualize. But, as a non-practicing Buddhist from a little bit outside, deity veneration isn't all that natural for me yet. Sure. I mean, I'm learning, and I certainly feel very strongly that the things that I consider are venerated for me. So, I mean, at least I've got that out of it. But it's a problem. I want to say something else in personal experience. I know people were saying in the last couple of weeks, remember I said I wasn't going to say anything? That's how this started. People were talking about whether they visualize an object or a thing, or a thought or whatever. And I'm really convinced that that's a real personal thing. I'm a visual thinker. And it's very easy for me to visualize something in dimension. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like I'm remembering it is what it works for me. And it's much simpler than an idea. Like seeing a green Tara is my act of remembering, not visualizing it. Just that's how the exploration feels to me. And that works well for me. I'm muting now.
That's wonderful, Tom. No, no problem. It's a discussion, so it's wonderful that you're discussing. And I think that, that's what I've read in the texts is that when you're choosing an object, definitely different personalities, different traits will connect better with different types of objects. And that in the Lama Tsongkhapa tradition, the reason why the holy object is emphasized is, for the several reasons that we've talked about many times, that, there are additional benefits to a holy object. And so it's not saying that the only way to do it is a holy object. That's just the most common in our tradition. And so, David, can you hear right now? David, can you hear? Okay. So
yeah, sorry, I got
no worries.
bumped off.
And so I have no idea if your goal is Mahamudra, how to answer your question. Okay. But I do know that, choosing what you choose and sticking with it, unless you've got a really good reason to change, right? That's the instruction, right? Because the more familiar you become with something, the easier it is. If you're changing the object frequently, then it's hard, right? And when we talk about object in that sense, it can mean literally the holy image, that object. The object could be your breath. The object could be the conventional nature of mind, right? Mm-hmm. So those are all considered objects, I believe, in the way that we talk about this. But if the question is when to do Mahamudra versus calm abiding, I don't know the answer to that one.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so for folks who are just joining us, welcome. And I was just asking if we had any questions that we specifically wanted to ask of Geshe. I was going to compile anything. So if anyone has anything to add. Okay, well, then I'll just go back and review something we haven't talked about in a couple weeks, which is if anyone can remember what the 3 root texts on calm abiding are.
Not without cheating.
Well, however you want to do it. I mean, testing yourself without looking first is maybe helpful, but if that, if that doesn't work, if nothing comes up, then look, it's okay. Okay, there are 2 by one person and 1 by another. Let's start there. Who are the 2 authors?
Maitreya Buddha and Sangha.
Excellent, that is correct. So there are 2 by Maitreya Buddha. Anybody know what one of those was?
One of them is the ornament of discourse.
Yeah, ornament of Mahayana discourse. Yeah, exactly. And for bonus points, what aspect of calm abiding does that text have in it? Okay, that one has the 9 stages, and it also has the requirements for the environment. And does anyone know the other text by Maitreya? It begins with distinguishing.
Distinguishing the middle from the extremes.
Excellent. And what does that have in it? What aspect of calm abiding? The 5 somethings and the 8 somethings.
It has the 5
faults
and the 8 adjustments.
Perfect. Yes, exactly. Okay. And then the 3rd text, that's the one by a Sangha.
Oh, that's a compendium of something.
Yeah. A compendium of
Knowledge.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, sometimes translated as higher learning. Sometimes the Sanskrit is Abhidharma, the compendium of Abhidharma. So any of those versions, just in case you come across them, so you know they all are referencing the same book. All right, and which aspect of calm abiding is in that text?
It goes through the stages, the 9
Exactly,
stages.
right, Karen, the 9 stages. Okay, so these are the 3 root texts that all of this comes from. And maybe we can do a quick review of the 5 faults. What are the 5 faults? Can anybody name?
Laziness.
Yeah, exactly. Laziness.
The instructions.
Forgetting the instructions. Yeah.
uh,
Sinking an excited mind.
Right.
Non-application of the antidote.
Wonderful.
And over application of the antidote.
Excellent. Okay, so what are the 4 antidotes for laziness?
Enthusiasm is one.
Yeah.
Understanding the benefits.
Right.
Now, is this also no, this isn't thinking about precious human rebirth.
No.
Okay.
Right. That's to help us overcome the sinking mind.
Okay.
I mean, among other things, but in this context, in the calm abiding context, yeah.
Okay.
Is pliancy one of them?
Yep. Yep. So it goes in this order: faith in the benefits, then the one we're missing, then enthusiasm, then pliancy. So what do you think would bridge between faith in the benefits and enthusiasm?
Interest.
Interest, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first 4 antidotes, and then there's one more for each of the other faults. So what is the one for forgetting the instructions?
Mindfulness, to be mindful.
Exactly. Yep. And then for sinking and excitement? What follows once you've perfected mindfulness? What comes next?
Introspection.
Exactly. Right. And non-application?
Application.
Yes, application. And for over-application?
Your notes say equanimity. I'm reading the notes. I'm cheating.
Yeah, that's okay. That's not cheating. That's reviewing. Kim, I think you said something, but you were muted.
No, I remember Geshe just saying, if you're over applying something, back off.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And this antidote is translated a lot of different ways to mean the same word, but equanimity is the idea of what you're talking about, Kim. It's like just be and don't do anything because what you're doing is working. So yeah, exactly. Okay, fantastic. So maybe we should go over the definitions. That's the introspection fish.
Yes.
Donna was holding up the introspection fish. Okay, so the definitions of sinking and excitement. How many kinds of each are there?
2, gross and subtle.
Exactly. All right, so who wants to try gross sinking mind, the definition of gross sinking mind?
The image isn't clear. There's not clarity, or is that the next one?
No, that's correct. The image is steady, but it is not clear. So there's kind of, the way that I think about it with sinking mind is there's 3 aspects. There's the steadiness or stability, there's the clarity, and then there's the intensity or brightness. There's those 3 aspects. So with the gross sinking mind, we don't talk about the intensity at all because we don't even have the clarity. So there's steadiness without clarity, right? So with subtle sinking mind, then what's the definition there? You got 2 of the 3.
Is that where you have clarity and steadiness, but not very much, it's weak? It's not very much force to it?
Exactly, right. So the stability and the clarity are there, and there isn't the intensity or the power or the brightness, or, we've used different words for that third part. Exactly. Okay, so for excited mind, we've got gross and subtle. So for gross excited, what is the definition?
You're thinking about something else that you're attached to. It's attachment to other things.
Right, definitely attachment is the thing that draws you away. And do you still keep some of the object or do you lose it completely?
I think you see both. You can still see the object, but no, you lose the object. I think the other one is where you can keep the object, but you're still thinking of something else.
Exactly, that's right, Karen. So for the gross, you lose it completely due to attachment. And for the subtle excitement mind, then you're like divided, right? So you're still keeping track. You haven't lost it completely, but you've also got something else going on. And what's the example that is in Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand that Geshe has referenced several times?
So like walking and talking to a friend, is that the one that you?
No, that's
Oh, you're thinking of
introspection.
getting up and going and doing something else, getting a snack or something like that.
That's
Is-
not the one I'm looking for.
Is it the one where there's water under a sheet of ice?
That's it, Amala. Yeah.
No fish though.
Well, there can be a fish if you're divided 3 ways, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you're divided. You're still seeing that sheet of ice, but now you're seeing the water behind it. So you're still on the object, but now you've got this thought of attachment at the same time. So
Something subliminal is going on under your conceptual thought. Oh, here's Geshe.
Tashidele Chugila, have a seat.
Tashidele Geshe.
Tashidele Romasi, how are you?
I'm very wealthy.
Oh, yeah. You are very wealthy.
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good news for Kadamba Center. Good evening, Lamula.
Evening.
Good evening, Tham.
Evening, Geshe.
Back to Nepal.
No, that's in Colorado, actually.
Colorado?
Yeah,
Okay, very
Red
good.
Feather Lake. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Good evening, Karen.
Good evening.
Good evening, Jill.
Hello, Geshe. Good to see you.
How are you?
Very good. Yeah, sorry I've had to miss a bunch of classes. Happy to be back.
How's Marinda?
A little bit better. She had a really good hospital stay where they tested a bunch of stuff on her. So it's the same condition, but she's having a tough time right now, but it's different every day, every moment.
Is she in the hospital right now?
No, it was just doing some tests on her. So she's home.
Yeah, please tell her I've been thinking about. Okay, please tell her I've been thinking.
I will. She can probably hear you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Jill. Julie.
Good evening, Geshe.
Sorry, so many J. Good evening, Bodhisattva Patrick. Good evening, Joanna. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Geshe.
Good evening, David.
Hello, Geshe.
Okay, good night, David. So I'm going to go to bed. Good evening, Kim.
Good evening, Geshe. I'm glad you are feeling better.
Oh, thank you very much. Back to normal.
Good.
Even though there's no normal, I'm back to normal. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening, Geshe. So good to see you.
Michael or Geshe? Geshe? Yeah. Good evening, enlightened Alex. Good evening. Good evening, Sandra. Good evening,
Geshe.
Good evening, Helen.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Good evening, Laura.
Hi, Geshe-la. Good to
Good
see you.
evening. Oh yeah, so then, anybody who's watching on YouTube, good evening. Yeah, Lamula, some prayer.
Let's start with the 7M prayer.
Hmm?
Gosum gupe gone chatselo nyami tu chati malubu tomene sadi tuntam cheshag kepa gewanam la shehirang Korwa matom bardule june drola cheki kolo korwa dang da jengenam janchu chen poengo. The mandala offering. Saji perki shushin metog tamri nabnishi ni degen badi Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwa Idro Kunam Dag Shingla Che Pasho Jetsun Lama Tampa Kenan Kiche Kukala Kense Chujintrik Ita Tsampe Tuje Zima La Jabgecheki Charpawab to sell Idam Guru Ratamadalakam Niryatayami.
Sanje Chuna Soji Chuna Chanju Pado Nande Chanju Dagi Chishin Jebe Asunandi Dola Penje Sanje Sanje Chuna Soji Chuna Chanju Pado Nande Chanju Dagi Chishin Jebe Asunandi Dola Penje Sanje Chanju Bardo Dane Chasoji Dagi Chishi Jibe Dola Penje Sanje Niti Shiva Sona Kushi Niti Niti Luza Kwaya Nala Kumpa Chanda Lakshi Niti Data Lozaro Antoyanda Debata Nala Kude Lakunde Soma Niti Chanjo Sembe Soja Sanje Chinde Yunja Lancha Santo Kange Tete Lewa Kaba Meba Cheba Meba Tam Meba Shukila and Lamula, thank you very much. So last Wednesday, so that you heard from people, they, of course, you do a wonderful job all the time. So I just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. So that discussion is very fruitful. Okay, I just want to say thank you.
Geshe, would it be okay if I ask a question that came up last time?
Yeah, sure.
Someone had asked what the difference is between samadhi and shamatha.
Same thing, same thing. There are different pronunciations. I think same thing. Maybe Tibetan people don't know how to pronounce Sanskrit, so therefore shamatha. Or maybe American, I'm not sure, one of us. It's just samadhi, shamatha, same thing. Isn't it?
So Geshe, I thought that samadhi was tingedzin and that shamatha is shine.
Oh, maybe you know better.
No, I'm sure that that's not correct, but I'm just confused.
Maybe, no, that's correct. Maybe like I'm not very good at Sanskrit. I'm not sure what's different between. I always thought shamatha and samadhi same thing. Maybe there's my ignorance, so hard to say. So maybe samadhi is concentrations, shamatha chine.
Yeah, single pointed concentration is how samadhi is usually translated in English. Yeah. Isn't that the same as tingnading?
Yeah, thing is shine. Of course, there's thing is shine. There's differences. Shine means the highest level of concentrations after 9 stages. Thing is every primary consciousness comes with the thing is. So samadhi refers to thing is. So they display one of my ignorance about Sanskrit. So I've been holding that ignorance a long time. Finally, it's gone now. 1 inch closer to liberations. Maybe Chugila is right. Samadhi means Tengen, but I'm not sure. So Chugila did research, so I always do Samadhi, Shamatha. Maybe I thought like I don't know how to pronounce Sanskrit correctly. That's why I saw Samadhi, Shamatha. So, Dine, what else, Chugila?
A couple of questions came up just before class. Did either of the people with those questions want to ask them, or did we answer those already? We had, Geshe, we just had discussion. I just wanted to make sure that people felt like their questions were answered.
Okay, very good. All the answer?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's less. So that's all, Geshe.
Less burden on me, so that's good news.
Thank you, Geshe.
Oh, thank you very much. So I'm kind of like fortunate to have Shukila and Lamula here. Fortunate. We are all, and I'm also fortunate too. So then where we stop? So like for the before we maybe. In the Wednesday night class, people are very dedicated to Dharma. So, so I think it'd be nice if we say, maybe 7 minutes about the mantra. So then, think about Miranda. So think of Miranda, all the people also like having like difficulties, yeah, unfortunately, before we completely liberated ourselves from samsara, so there will be always something, there's always something is not right. That's what we are going to feel till we liberated, completely liberated from samsara. We all feel we all feel not every single moment, but every day we feel something's always not right. Sometimes there's problems like yeah, there's all kind of problems. So that's why we must strive for liberations. We must strive for liberations. So in order to not to experience any difficulty, any problems, we need to be liberated. Okay, so yeah, then think of all the people who are going through physical difficulty, mental difficulty, because we are karmically connected to Marenda. So Marenda, we know Marenda, karmically connected. So if you say some prayer, definitely help. Okay, such a young, wonderful young human being, and probably a lot of inspiration for a lot of other people too. So then say we're going to say 7 minutes with the mantra. So then there's quite a number of people. So best if you can visualize, as I always mention, visualize medicine Buddha on your crown. So then your loved one, close one, and all the people who are going through physical difficulty, mental difficulty, visualize on their crown, medicine Buddha. So then nectar flows from medicine Buddha's the bowl that's contain 3 types of amrita or nectars flows from there. So then through your crown chakra, so then eliminate all the physical, like problem, together with all the problems that are related to the mind, which is like disturbing thought. Okay, completely purify. Okay. 투제 공간에 좀 되게 천상 TV 누드면서 독성대 천상대 내지나 비디오를 쳤어요. 세다 스탠드 please.
Bhagawan, with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispel of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to medicine Buddha, lapis light.
Maybe 21 times, not 7 or 21 times. Yeah, come on, lead, please.
Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata
Om
Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze
21 times.
Bekanze
Radha Samugate
Soha.
Tamala, like yes, chant, please, loud.
Shout out loud. Yeah. Teata Om Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Ata Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Ata Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rata Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha.
So now one round of money mantra. Remember David's father who passed away now more than 7 years ago. So then Panditji and Pati's cat, they're together with all the people who lost their life because of the coronavirus, and all the people who are now still struggling with the disease, with the virus. Think of all of them. So then I will say one round of money mantra. Then also the benefit of reciting money mantra is not just for all those poor people, also like you are the one who's saying the money mantras, you get immense benefit, okay? Immense benefit. You get immense benefit too. So, yeah, I'm going to recite the stanza. Can you hear Lamla?
Sorry, not veiled by any fault, white in color, who said a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings, to you Chen Reisig, I'll sing when I prostrate.
Oh, Mane Beme, 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 oh, Mane Beme. Oh, Mane Beme, 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 oh, Mane O mane beme, 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 o mane O mane beme, 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 o mane O mane beme, 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 Givandi and you do the chess, I want to know what you do. So now, 21 goddess Lochema mantra for the coronavirus. For pandemic to eradicate the pandemic. Before 1959, within the Sarashe monasteries, so college that I'm from called Tiwo College. A lot of people there's like there are a lot of monks in that Tiwo College. Their lives have been affected by a pandemic. So then few highly realizing monks in that college has a visions or like to reciting Goddess Lochima mantra will eradicate the pandemic. So that helps. That recitation of the Goddess Lochima mantra helps to eradicate the pandemic. So we will say 21 times. Okay, 21 times. Jawa kunji ishi jumaye chundu number to bale lama kundu shi zema la cha ze lo.
Goddess arising from the magical emanation, the illusory, exalted wisdom of all the victorious ones, who pacifies all the diseases, fears, and interferes of practitioners. To you I prostrate.
Om pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara tasha mana yeso. Om pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara tasha. Pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara tasha mana yeso. Om pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara tasha. Pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha ze parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara. Shawari sawanzara tasha. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara. Shawari sawanzara tasha mana. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara. Om pisha se parna shawari sawanzara tasha mana yeso ha. Gavandi and you do the Loma Chamando to Wajija Malevati Sala. Thank you very much for your participation. I'm sure definitely there will be positive impact. Okay. So now back to Shamatha. Oh, Julie Laughter, good evening. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. I've been doing YouTube, so I haven't been, but
Okay, I need you. How's everything there?
good. It was a pretty
Oh,
day.
very good. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so, Jugular, where we stopped?
Geshe, we were on stage 5. I'm not sure if we had completed it or not.
Okay. So, just for the reference, it was the beginning of the class. So, I'm like, I don't know, it would be nice to save some time for the actual class. If you can come a little bit earlier, like 15 minutes before 7 o'clock, or maybe I will come 15 minutes after 7. So maybe Hamula and Chukila will lead the review, so then you will remember. So otherwise, reviewing here, that will take a long time. So then by the time when you finish, whatever you call intensified quiz or review, it's taking a lot of time. So that part I will now turn over to Lamula and Chukila intensify quiz for the class. So the reason is that I want you to remember. I want you to remember because remember what Lama Atisha said. We follow Lama Atisha's path. Lama Tsongkhapa path. Lama Atisha, our center name is Kadamba Center. We follow the Kadamba traditions. So Lama Atisha, so for the reference, also including all of us to remember. Shini ala nam chaves, lonne tonda tage rab to pay the computer to be. You have will, you have like will to develop shamatha, but don't know how. You may end up putting so much effort, and Lama Atisha is worried that effort is going to be fruitless. Therefore, it's very important to learn about shamatha meditation. Make sure that every single effort you put in there produce some kind of fruit. Otherwise, not without knowing about shamatha meditation, putting so much effort there, Lama Atisha is very much worried that it's going to be, you could put effort like hundreds of years, maybe going to be fruitless. So we don't live 1,000 years, but that's like, I say, every effort you put in there, so it's going to be fruitless. So therefore, we are educating ourselves about shamatha meditations. Ultimate goal is to eradicate all the disturbing thoughts and become very mindful eventually every single moment, being very mindful every single moment. So now the mindfulness challenge. So therefore, so many disturbing thoughts occur because of lack of mindfulness. So when it's occur, then it's kind of late. Damage has already been done, it's kind of a little bit late. So before it occurs, if you can catch, so that's called introspections. You need to, this introspection is something that you develop through meditation. It's not like something that somebody give it to you, but you are fully capable, fully capable. Yeah, so many mistakes occur because of the lack of mindfulness. So then mindfulness is the key here. Without mindfulness, there will be no introspections. There will be no checking. Is this something worth it to approach or not? So then, yeah, so many mistakes occur. Lack of mindfulness. The introspections is the result of mindfulness. If there's no mindfulness, there will be no introspection. If there's no introspections, and we will regret. We will regret in the future. We will regret. So then we say could have. Then we say a lot of mantra. Could have, would have, should have. Then all kind of mantra doesn't help. Could have, should have. So then it's too late. Doesn't help. So then what happens at the end, then you blame yourself, that's even worse. So that to prevent that, you know. And, according to Master Shanti Deva, Shinera than the Radon Nimon number Juba Shechene, Thomas Shinet Sachas. Especially Vipassana, that you produce meditating on shamatha, then you produce the special wisdom called Vipassana. So that Vipassana will eradicate the delusions or all the disturbing thought. So that's the primary goal. But temporary goal is calm mind, peaceful mind, calm mind. Yeah, so when you are more mindful, there'll be less mistake. If there's less mistake, there'll be less complication in your mind. If there's less complication in your mind, the mind's more, so there's more like there's more dirt in the mind. So there's less dirt in the mind remains clear, like the water remain clear. So now it's not clear because there's so many dust stored up. So that's why there's a temporary benefit to keep your mind calm. Your mind calm, very important, especially this time, important to protect your peace of mind. That's the most important things to protect your peace of mind. That's the most important things. Mm. That's the most important things. Then you can think about peace. Then you can think about peace. Otherwise, without having a peace of mind, how you going to think of peace? Because you don't know how to enjoy peace of mind. You have no idea the benefit of peace of mind, how you can wish that for others. Possible. So, then you can feel that you are contributing for world peace. Yeah, you are practically contributing for world peace because you are maintaining your peace of mind. That's the seed for the world peace. World peace is not just mere word. Oh, so then if you are in peace, so then you see the peace is, so you're experiencing that. So that's the temporary benefit, okay? So then result, like physical well-being, mental well-being, all of that, do come, okay? That's for the reference. So please don't forget that, what we're hoping, like especially inside Vipassana, that's what we're hoping. To eradicate the disturbing thought. So now, like, I'll move to the class here. Now need to job, jundu job, number 5 was called in English pacify.
Subdued.
Subdue, okay, subdue, that's good translation, subdue. 나도 시베가 셈 난도 두타고 디치마 타모 내가 되게 좀 심심 되게 나면 준비하고 좀 집에 I think that the stage number 5 has been already explained. Here the risk is that like subtle thinking mind. Subtle thinking mind is a more risk because like mind are like together with our 5 senses and our 6 mental consciousnesses is been extroverted long period of time. So now you learn how to make them introverted. So now that that because long period of time doing that made that like the risk of like how is the subtle thinking mind. Now what is lacking, like the power. Mind is on the object, it's not out of the object, it's on the object, And that's now you see the object, then so now the power is like kind of like weakening. So need to same thing. If you're holding something, you know how much power there. So that's like very much based on individual practitioners. Okay, how to adjust, need to adjust. Then last Wednesday I explained forceful method, how to overcome from subtle thinking mind, which is called mixing your mind and energy with the space. Lungsen namgata se damga. Yongzu Yishi Janse, that's one of the masters, if I remember correctly, in his text mentioned this forceful method, how to overcome from thinking mind. So mainly need to think, if that is like, then, there's not just that. So then, you may think, oh, this is like meditations, some kind of meditative stabilizations. As it's not, it is subtle thinking mind. So then people spend so much time there, so then it's not good. So and there's confusion even back in Tibet. There's some people thought, some meditator thought, they probably achieve shamatha, but actually it's like subtle thinking mind. So that's why need to educate. What is subtle thinking mind? What is the gross thinking mind? What is the gross excitement mind? What is the subtle excitement mind? We need to understand all of them. When it happens, then you know. If you don't know, then you don't know when it's happening. You don't know what's happening. So then maybe end up blaming yourself. Okay. Now the stage is number 6. She was pacified.
Yes, pacifying.
She was. Nabe kauso sim sing to tabi change di goba tamin ye chelase. Goba tamu chala te ribe shi jin jo top den che de goba tamu lo chundu den go so goba tamu. So sorry, so first we have to explain what's the problems, problems, so that make sure the problem doesn't occur. When it occurs, make sure that we recognize it's a problem. Okay, so that don't think, oh, maybe I was hoping now when I reach the stage number 5 is going to be piece of cake. Piece of cake is not here now. So it will be there, but not here now. Okay. So now during the stage of pacifying, so then now there's another problems. Subtle thinking, subtle excitement mind. Subtle excitement mind. Don't think it's before you are just dealing with the gross one. You even there's no time to subtle to rise because you are just challenging with the gross thinking mind. So now that these are pretty much gone, so now you are just only challenging the subtle one. So so now the gross one is gone. Something to be grateful. Now you are challenging subtle thinking mind. Because when you are experiencing with subtle. See that when you experience the difficulty of subtle thinking mind, then you are trying to cheer up your mind. You are trying to cheer up your mind. And that probably you use a lot of force to do that. So then now mind is like, cheer up, too much cheer up. So that's why, now the subtle, subtle thinking mind, subtle gross mind, subtle excitement mind. Subtle excitement mind, you don't lose the object, but mind still wanders. So you don't lose the object completely. You don't completely lose the object, but you kind of see the object, but still as like mind still wandering, like kind of like could be sometimes simultaneous or maybe could be like there's both of them there. So that's called subtle thinking, the subtle excitement mind. Object is on the object, but still mind is wandering. Before, when mind wandered, object is gone. There's growth. Object is completely gone. Now you become so good at, even though your mind start to wander, you still manage to keep the object. So there's a subtle thing, subtle has the excitement mind. Okay. So then need to boost the energy of introspections. So analyze, need to boost the energy of the introspections. So then stop the subtle excitement mind, okay? Alex and Sandra, are you able to follow all the stages? Very good. Of course, you are German, so. German, everything has to be precise, so that's good news. So the way you achieve the stage number 5, which is subdue, and stage number 6, which is pacify, you achieve that on like the power of introspections. Power of introspections, the 6 powers of introspections. So as I mentioned before, the beginning of the class, Lamula and Chugila will review all of that. That means when they review, basically you are doing review meditations. What is the purpose of doing review meditations? In the future, near future, you don't need any materials to bring. You already have here. Everything's here. Wherever you go, you don't need to worry about missing some piece of paper there. Everything's stored here. So then you can meditate wherever you go. No need to struggle with the paper and the challenge with the winds, blowing your papers, no, not like that. The review meditation, okay. The because the because of change top job, chingu check yang chingu check. I was very talk to children. Then she talk to. So then stage between stage number 5 and 6 between there. So then you complete the you kind of like accomplish the introspections. Introspection is now pretty much accomplished. No need to put much effort. It will become automatic. Okay, it will. I mean, the introspection will be spontaneous. You don't have to put much effort. Then the 20 top the chingu tamu then the 20 top is chingu tamu la the pong the chigos. Then from there, the back of the teshi top the back of the teshi top zobes, the back of the top zob. So now stage number 7. So stage number between stage number 5 and 6, then you accomplish the introspection. It's been complete now. It's good from there. From then on, it's going to be spontaneous. So now the stage number 7, pacify. Then what's called Shivajava, number Shivajava.
Complete pacification.
Yeah, complete pacification. Number Shivajava. Complete pacification. Number Shivajava. The back of those Teshe top job is Chingu Chekayans. So now here, the stage number 7, complete pacifications there. Not just the practice of like introspection is complete, but here also the mindfulness now. From then on, mindfulness also going to be spontaneous. It's not like you need to put much effort when you reach the stage number 7. So not just introspections, even the mindfulness. The back of those So then from then on, when you achieve the stage number 7, from then on, so then thinking mind, excitement mind may hardly get any chance to rise. So that means there'll be hardly any challenge that you face. Interest, thinking mind and growth, excitement mind, thinking mind is pretty much control. That doesn't mean that you become, how to say, completely relaxed, but still you need to be, vigilant. Okay. Then the jungle oh, so then send me somebody to me for no thing this is jungle for the So now this is all, I think, like Chukila and Hamula were going to review. What is the difference between stage number 1st and 2nd? What is the difference between stage number 2 and 3rd? The differences. So this is going to be through review meditation. Okay, so I already explained that briefly a few times. So I'm not going to do this again, so to save the time. So then Chukila and Hamula are doing a wonderful job. So their English is perfect. And also their knowledge about shamatha meditation is perfect too. So it's good. What did they really have? Okay. So now stage number 78. Nani to joba, junto joba, hendu joba, nyawa joba, shiva, tuwa joba, number shiva joba. Ani
Becoming single-pointed?
Tsechi to cheba, number Toma nyembu, tenzi, zowa jungse tena, tinjirin chinge tamu meba, tinchon joba jungjiza. Didari kapcha rimji pena dawata dhamada, tawa nyamada, dhamma nyamada, chinge nyamba imi jabana to shiri, then go so then from there, so no need much effort, just as just motivate yourself, not need much effort. At the beginning, it's almost like the lighter. When you light a candle, beginning you put some there, then it will kind of goes on and on like that, with that effort. In the beginning, some effort, so then after that, no need effort, it will be, like it goes on, meditation will be, if you decide to do 10, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, so you won't have any problems. Beginning, you put some effort. So there's the benefit. Top gashi nyamba ta, top zoba nyamba ta, chinge chi top rimji nyamba yinbe, Japanese shiji towa tenmi gyo, so don't need to put much effort on the introspections, don't need to put much effort anyway. So no effort. Sene gebe kap disa, towa chuse tena tinjiring, chingyo so pato choba maybe, sheba meba jube yijiyes. So now out of like 4 mental, what do you call?
Engagements, the 4 mental engagement.
4 mental engagement then what is called that engagement here?
For number 8, uninterrupted focus.
Yeah, uninterrupted focus. That's at the beginning, you put some effort, then your meditation will be uninterrupted, means meditation will continue. Before, there's a lot of interruptions. Elephant goes to somewhere else, goes on and on, then you need to bring it back. So then stay there a little bit, so then maybe stay there, so then then the elephant start sleeping. then you have to wake up the elephant. So then when you wake up the elephant, then the elephant will start to go somewhere else. That challenge all the time. So then when you're forced to tie the elephant on the object, so then the elephant start to go down. Then you have to wake it up. When it wake up, so then it goes away. All these problems now gone. All these problems pretty much gone. So, all of that. So now the last one, okay, it's the last one. Take it to Cheba. So then last one, how to say in English?
Meditative equipoise.
Nyambar Shaba. Guba bezu the tower juba there. So bezu the tower juba. So now here, when you achieve the stage number 9, what is it called?
Meditative equipoise.
Yeah, meditative equipoise or meditative stabilization, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah. So better to stick, when you review, we have to stick with the one word, meditative stabilization or meditative stabilization. Sounds a little better, but whatever word you choose, that doesn't matter.
Oh, sure.
Nyambar Shabo. So then from there, no effort is needed. See, no effort is needed. Wouldn't it be wonderful? No effort is needed. No need to worry, meditation will continue. Stage number 8, in the beginning, you need some effort. You need to put some effort, like starting fire, you need to light or whatever you need. Then it goes on and on like that. So there, you don't need lighter, it's just automatic. Bezo sawa juba the thea gebe kap yaya tipa la tene di bezo meba linju duba towa chunse jan migyoba kande chawa shi demba tara tenge zu shilji jokes. Kande means daily recitations. Oh, before like struggling, even just remember the word om tare tutare turi soa om tare don't remember tutare turi soa. They remember tutare turi soa but don't remember om tare. Something that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like om pishatse. What's next? Look. Oh, parna. Then you om pishatse panashaut, om pishatse panashaut. Someday completely go blank. Om pishatse. Like that. So the daily recitations. Then you become you're doing this every single day, you become so familiar. Someday, when you finish, you even don't know it's done. So, because you become so familiar. Like people used to have very hard time even just learning the Om Mani Padme Hum. When they say Om, they don't remember Ma. When they remember Ma, they don't remember Om. They're struggling so much. So that's why B comes. B flat, then people can't learn to look. Then comes again another B, then becomes another B So that's how the Mani mantra was taught to the people through enlightenment being manifest in the B. People are interested to see something. They are very visual. So they, so that's how Mani mantra has been taught. So, so in monastery, big part of education, the curriculum, that a lot of memorization is needed. You need to, because you need to memorize a lot of, in a very young age, when you go to monastery, 7 years old, what do? You memorize. All the prayer that you memorize, you have no clue what it means. When I was 7, I have no clue what is Om Mani Padme. What Om means, I have no clue. But I do know Om Mani Padme Hum, but I don't know what it means. Never occurred in my mind to ask what it means. I just say it because thought that's what you do in the monastery, never ask. So then when I come to the United States, then I realized I better learn, because the people, all the questions, they have so many questions you never heard in the monastery and you never thought to ask to your teacher. Here they ask all kinds of questions. So then slowly. So yeah, so like that. So it's kind of like you can't really, how you say, explain. Something happened, something might happen. You remember a certain word, then you could not remember the second word. You could not remember, no matter how much you try, you couldn't remember. Someday you just remember, you don't try, you just remember. So especially if you are in front of the teacher who's like quizzing you, yeah, so then all your friends looking at you from the door, come on, say it. There's nothing to say. You can't remember. So they are all free because they all manage to say perfectly, orally. You can't, there's no books, so teacher knows the mantra by heart. So teacher asks, did you memorize? You, of course, you always say yes. So then when their teacher quiz, different stories. So they're all the friends looking from the door. Come on, say. You are just saying the wrong word. You can't say even the word correctly. Then when it's over, then when you come back, when you look, then you won't believe, like, how come that I can't even say this word? So that happens. So then eventually you become so familiar. So then sometimes you forget. Did you finish? Yeah, it's already done. So now, like that. So here, when you reach to the stage number 9, no effort needed. No effort needed. No, then it goes. Yeah, if you manage to meditate probably 7 hours a day, maybe so then like without interruptions, probably you already achieve shamatha. Some other text mentioned. So Guban Bezumi was told they give it then the last for mental engagement, last ones, achieve what is the last one? Spontaneous?
It's, spontaneous, effortless engagement or spontaneous placement, but we were memorizing effortless engagement.
Yeah, effortless engagement. So that's the last engage, that for mental engagement, that's the last one. So that's we achieve when you read that. Okay. So this is not the user to tambun nega number was yamchi. So that, kind of now finally finished the 9 stages. So now next Wednesday, I will be here. So maybe Chukil and Hamula will lead the review meditation. I'll be on Zoom with you. So then they will do the review meditations. Okay, that's the final conclusion of this class. 신전에 심 신전도 리즈는 대화 맞죠. 제 리즈 내면에 저 루시 대념 진 대념 진 고랑 레버 찔립다고 시작고 자 샤슈라 라버 서버버 내가 나 물도 띵줄로 공지 집어지 리즘 신경 되고 신장. So there's now another something that need to be mentioned here. Xinjiang, pliancy called Xinjiang. What is another word, pliancy? So when I say word pliancy, I have no clue. I have zero clue. I really don't know exactly what it means. Pliancy. Alternative word, Chukila.
Suppleness.
Huh?
Suppleness. Supple is like very flexible. So suppleness is being very flexible.
Yeah, long as long as you get some idea when I say the word pliancy, in Tibetan or Xinjiang. Xinjiang means like Chang literally means Chang literally means train. Xinjiang means extremely trained. Now there's nothing to train. The training is like now taming or training is complete. Xinjiang. When I said the word, that makes some sense. But pliancy, if you are getting that well trained, no more training. It's already been trained now. No more training. The training is reached. It's reached to the fullest. Nothing more to train. Xinjiang was called Xinjiang. Then English word is pliancy. So if you are getting that idea, when you say word pliancy, that's good. Xinjiang is now it's trains the fullest. Now there's no more train, no more training. It's all now fully trained, no more training. Xinjiang. So now there's Xinjiang or pliancy, there's two types. One related to the mind, one related to the body, physical body. If you wonder which one you will achieve first, which one you will achieve first after when you finish the 9 stages. Xinjiang, this is for the sake of knowledge. It's important to understand. Next time when somebody asks, you can explain to them. Xinjiang, same Xinjiang, pliancy wise, first you achieve mental pliancy. So then after that you achieve physical pliancy. So now happiness wise, that's why happiness, there's two types, physical, mental, two types. Pliancy wise, which one you achieve first? Mental. Second, physical. Happiness wise, first you achieve, that's opposite. First you achieve physical happiness, then mental happiness. 5 senses. Don't just think about just body, physical. When you say physical, don't just think about body. 5 senses. 5 senses. Any pleasure they generated by 5 senses, that's called physical happiness. Dewa nile lu shinjang, dewa nile lu shinjang, dewa. Lu shinjang dewa nile chesa, lu shinjang dewa nile chesa. Dewa nile, it's called like the happiness of pliancy. There's 2 things happening here, pliancy and happiness of pliancy. Make sense? There's 2 things happening. Pliancy, first mental pliancy, then physical pliancy. So then like happiness of pliancy, first you achieve physical happiness of pliancy, then you achieve the mental pliancy of happiness. So now set aside pliancy, physical pliancy, mental pliancy, the pliancy of happiness. These are all in the same categories, but different way of achieving. So now talk about happiness. What do you think? Happiness. We are not talking about the happiness of pliancy. Happiness of pliancy, you achieve first physical, then happiness of mental pliancy. Pliancy, first you achieve mental pliancy, then you achieve physical pliancy. Is it clear, Chukila?
I'm sorry, Geshe, but I am a little bit confused.
Pliancy wise, there's pliancy and happiness of pliancy. Xinjiang and Xinjiang dewa. Xinjiang means pliancy. Pliancy wise, first you achieve mental pliancy, then you achieve, next you achieve physical pliancy. These are all for the sake of knowledge. So now, the happiness of pliancy, which one you achieve first? You achieve first physical. So then after mental. Make sense?
Yes.
Well, that's for the sake of knowledge. You know, it's just good to know. So now, happiness-wise, happiness. We are not talking about here, appliance is done. Now it's pliancy, happiness appliance is done. Now, generally speaking of happiness, which one achieve first? Physical, okay, physical. So the based on experience, you can experience how we get pleasure. Not having five senses, it's hard to get pleasures. But you look at something beautiful, or you say, oh, it's very beautiful, I really like it. Oh. Now you need to think about 5 omnipresent mental factors. Already been taught at the center a long time ago. Oh. Chowa dushe sempa raba hile chowa. 5 omnipresent mental factors. That's like comes with every primary mind. You look at something, it has 5 things together. 5 things. It has feeling. It has able to distinguish good and bad. There's good to look at this. 5 omnipresent mental factors called 5 omnipresent mental factor. Good to know. Good to know, because if somebody's having a hard time mentally, good to know these things. Good to know that you know what is happening. You know, this like every primary thought comes with these 5 things. You can't say, oh, there's no feeling. There is feeling. You can't say. You cannot say there's no feeling. There's feeling, because there's whether there's primary mind is involved, the feeling is involved. Person may not express the feeling. You cannot say there's no feeling. There is feeling, because there's thought. If there's a thought, there has to be feeling. Every thought that comes with the 5 omnipresent mental factors, that's good to know. One of the first one is like feeling. So when you look at something, you feel good. That's good feeling that comes with eye consciousness. First eye consciousness experience, there's something wonderful, beautiful. So that message is passed down on the 6th mental consciousness, then you experience, then you say, oh, I feel good. Because now 2 consciousness, eye consciousness, 6th mental consciousness, the pleasure they experience by eye consciousness transformed to the mental consciousness. So that's more deep than you experience. You experience the pleasure. Then you are what you call happiness. Make sense? That's how the mental, first physical happiness, then transform to the mental happiness. Then you say, oh, I feel good because I saw beautiful garden today. I'm so happy, beautiful garden. So then you say, I'm happy. Oh. Therefore, it's important to analyze if you thoroughly analyze what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, all the object of 5 senses, if you analyze thoroughly, you may end up seeing the reality. Oh. When you start to see the reality, then there'll be not much negative reaction towards whatever you see, whatever you hear. the object really, and for you, then it becomes more like illusion than rather than something solid. So see, something solid, because if you analyze thoroughly, if you don't react right away, if you analyze thoroughly, so then you may go beyond appearances, then you may experience the reality. So then there's nothing to really judge, nothing to react. It's like, you understand? So Toki, you don't know what Chichayans, according to Mahamudra teachings. So Toki, you don't know what Chichayans. Whatever that appears in front of our consciousness. How many consciousness we have? 6, 5 senses, and something they think. Is it good or is it bad? Somebody asks, do you like? Let me think. Then you think. We have 6 mental consciousness, 5 senses, 6 mental consciousness. The one, eye consciousness doesn't think. Nose consciousness doesn't think. Out of 6 consciousness, which consciousness thinking? 6 mental consciousness is the thinking. Then you say, I am thinking, because your mind is thinking, then you say, I am thinking. Actually, not really you are thinking, because your mind is the one thinking, then you say, I'm thinking. Same like, oh, I touch my hair. Not really you touch, your hand is the one who's touching your hair. Then you say, I touch my hair. But that's how we interact, with the object. So, Teta Kumni, so toki, you don't know what chichayang, so toki, you don't know what chichayang, so took in front of the 6 mental, the 6 consciousness. Whatever it appears in front of the 6 consciousness, so toki, you don't know what chichayang, nangzu shimu tashidan. Analyze thoroughly appearances. Analyze thoroughly what it means. It means don't react right away. Sit back, breathe, take your time, analyze. Benefit, you may go beyond appearances. What's the benefit of going beyond appearances? You may see the reality. So this all requires mindfulness. Okay, this all some part of the samatha meditation. This all requires mindfulness. Without mindfulness, so then 강사 남도 준바 용리나 전업 주시로 때문에 if you manage to understand Kangshan, whatever appears, if you manage to utilize that appearances to develop bodhicitta, you will have 0 problems. Whatever appears good or bad, if you manage to utilize that appearances to develop bodhicitta, you will have 0 problems. 0 problems. 0 problems. You understand? You have 0 problems. Oh, according to Guru Puja. Another word, according to Mahamudra teaching, another word, Kangshan Namdo Jimba Yungri, Kangshan Namdo. If you recognize whatever appears, whatever you experience through like 6, 5 senses, and then include 6 mental concepts, whatever you experience, if you're able to recognize that's your perceptions, that's your perceptions, not something that's something solid, or something very serious, or something very hurtful, whatever we call. We have many labels that we call. We have many names to call, whatever you call. If you manage to see this, your perceptions, what happens? You probably will see emptiness. So that's you probably will see empty. You probably will experience emptiness without relying on anything else. Anyway, so happiness-wise, first physical happiness, then mental happiness. Okay. So bottom line here, life is like sometimes may feel very smooth, going very smoothly. All of a sudden, hit, bump. Like this, like it's like this. It's like wave pushed by water here, there, but deep down, always calm. Oh, that's what we're looking. Surface is always pushing wave here, there, there. But deep down, it's always calm. Always calm. Julie is very good at that, Julie. So I have to say, Julie handles the situation very well. So deep down, always calm, deep down. Oh, make sure every day one drops go there. Every day one drops go there. Make sure that well never get dry. Make sure every day one drops go down there. Oh, even though you cannot pour a glass of water there, make sure every day one drops go there. Means every day sit, meditate. Do some single pointed meditations. You'll be surprised how much benefit you get. You'll be very surprised how much benefit you get mentally. Every day, whether you are doing breathing meditations, every day some kind of single pointed meditation, every day some kind of single pointed meditation. So, need to help ourselves to think, relying on the introspection, mindfulness, need to help ourselves think something good. Think something good, think something good. Now in the beginning it's hard. It's harder to think something positive. It's so easy to think something negative, doesn't require much effort. It just like the atom bomb, it just blow up like that. Harder to think something positive, harder to think something. We are so used to think something negative, they're so used to no good. There'll be nothing good comes out of that. Nothing good comes out of that. Doesn't require introspection, doesn't require mindfulness. At the beginning, it's very hard. Oh, so through mindfulness, introspection, help ourselves to think something positive, then eventually it becomes something good. So then you will have no problem thinking something positive, even though situation is feel like pouring down, like difficulties pouring down on you like rain. You can still manage to think something positive. Can you imagine that? Everything is falling apart, but you still manage to keep your calm mind, peaceful mind. Oh, that is the benefit. That's the benefit of doing Dharma practice. That's the benefit. That's the benefit. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. All my friend here, we're trying to. It's not about. It all boils down on the mind. To keep this mind, what we call mind, keep this mind calm and peaceful, happy. Mentally feel, oh, I did something wonderful. I feel great. I feel important. I feel like my life has some purpose. Every day you could do that every day. Okay. So that's the bottom line. Oh. The mind is good, path is good, ground is good, everything, practice is good. Oh. Therefore, harmony community is necessary in order to grow spiritually, mundanely, spiritually, to grow happily. Happy growth require harmonious communities. Harmony with yourself. If you are not peace with yourself, nothing will grow. It become obstacle to grow something good. So that's why harmony is the cause of happiness. Tumba dewa. Harmony is the key to happiness. If everybody is happy, the spiritual development will happen. In the community, everybody's mind is disturbed. Nobody will probably gain realizations. Nobody. Therefore, splitting harmony into two, that that's of course one of the heinous karma. Now you understand why. So all boils down, mental happiness. Keep our mind calm as possible, day-to-day life. Make sure that you feel that your life has some meaning. Make sure that you feel like that your life is precious. Make sure that you feel you are doing something good. And then if you live for a few more years, that's what we will do. To develop my positive mind, like the new phase of moon, small, get bigger. It goes all the way to the full moon, something like that. So then it's good. Then that's very good. So every day, so I'm trying my best. I hope that you'll try your best. So then whatever time we spend here is all worthwhile. It's all worthwhile. So that's very important to. I don't know how to explain, like the feeling in your mind, something you can do. Please don't ever think that you can develop pleasant feeling in your mind. That's not true. Any human are capable. Yeah, that's key. That's the key, to make sure that you feel something good deep down. Deep down. No need to jump up and down, excitement, not that kind of happiness we are talking about. Deep down, always you feel good. Your presence in this planet have some purpose. Your life on this planet has some purpose rather than no purpose. Your life on this planet has some meaning, deeper meaning. You feel like this boat is capable to sail across the oceans. So then you realize that every day, this boat is capable to sail. This boat, So me trula tenene dunga chuo cheletos. Shanti Deva said, me too, human boat, dunga chuo cheletos, will cross the ocean of problem, complications. This boat is capable to cross. Don't ever think, there'll be another boat. Mistake. Now you already have the boat, better to start to sail. Don't think, there'll be another boat. There might not be another boat. Hard to say, but so what they say is, prepare for worse, hope for better. Think that there might be no another boat doesn't mean there will be no another boat. What it means like that it's encouraging you to sail now. Don't wait. Sail now. So it makes you lazy. If you think, there'll be plenty of boat down the road, I'm not going to sail. Meanwhile, you are not happy. Then this life has no meaning. If you are not happy, what is life? This life is for. This life has no meaning. If your life is miserable, there's no meaning. It's already complicated. Then you are making it more complicated. Meanwhile, we have no clue how much time we have on this planet. We have no clue. Better to be happy. Easy to say, but I'm trying myself. every single day, and you do the same thing, and you are fully capable. I'm not better than you. We are all same, physically, mentally same. What I'm doing, I'm just trying. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying my best. That's all I'm doing. You can do the same thing. Okay? So then you are praying for me every class. I'm praying for all of you every day. So go to, well, see all this light? There's many light, at least 24 hours, 7 days a week, for all the people I connected, all the people who are past, all the people who are alive, for all of you, every single day, like 24 hours running, all this light. So you pray, you recite Tara mantra for me. So every day I pray for you. So then that's good, okay? Oh yeah. So with that, probably I'll finish. So now time is over. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Oh yeah. So I think it's been done 6 minutes. So so next class review. So I'll be here review. Okay. So please try all your best to feel some happiness in the mind every day. Whether you say mantra, say prayer, meditations, serving your mother, serving your kids, serving the communities, or meditations, prayer, doesn't matter. Wherever it comes from, mentally, feel something good in the mind, that's most important. Wherever you get sitting, reading, saying, helping, wherever you get, that's the most important. So then your presence on this planet has some meaning because somebody's getting, somebody's receiving benefit, okay? Or serving center, organizing class, leading class, saying mantra, helping your mother, make sure that she's happy, all of that. It's Dharma practice. Dharma practice doesn't mean you have to sit down a few hours a day. Doesn't mean like that. Something positive, you feel good. When you feel good, people get benefit. That's all, okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so then, Alhamdulillah, so say dedications, then I'll stop.
The general dedication prayers. Yewadinu Buddha Malupa Dei Saga Gepasho Janchu Sencho Rinpoche Make Panam Kirguchi Kewanyam Pame Payam Kone Gondu Pewasho Jampa Pawo Chita Kempadam Kudu Zampo Deyande Shinte Deda Kungi Jesu Dalochu Gewadi Dan Tanche Raptungo Dusun Shepe Gewa Tanche Ki Ngoa Gala Chotunga Pade Dashe Gewe Tsawadi Kunkyong Sampo Chechu Raptungo Wargi Dagi shine sape gyawadi, tendando akuna kampedam, kepa jetson lo sang da pai, tempening pouring to sell their show. Kandira we ko we shin kam dear, pendande wa malu shin wene, chere zigwan tenzing yatsui, shape site batu tengu chi. Jonu iye nala wang shutu, awatare tsempara sopa, losangya we deton lek bao shok, shashu kengyu lama sowa de. Tupsu chan shin chan gen gawe, Tenzin körpewe kunze dokboze choksum kuwele muntudu adak sodushe kendu japten sho. Om tare tu re so ha. 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 Om tare tu re so ha.
Okay, all my friends, good night. Good night.
Good night, Geshe-la.
Good night, Geshe-la.
Good night, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Good night,
Good night,
Geshe-la.
friends.
Thank
Good
you.
Thank
night.
you.
Geshe-la.
Thank you for the
Yes.
teaching.
Good
Thank
night.
you, Geshe-la.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.